What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new episode of the FM Journeyman save. Today we're at the start of the season. Well, I've played a few games, but you're going to see the transfers, a Europa League game and the new squad. A lot has changed, so let's run the intro. Okay, so there has been a couple of transfers happen. I've never done as much business on any FM window as I did in this one just now. To put that into perspective, 220 million worth of players left the club and we spent 336 million. Not all in like one-off payments for either of them. Some are over time, some are all at once. But we'll scroll down. In fact, I'll do it this way. You'll see here. A bunch of players have gone out on loan, a lot of big players, like in the youth setup, not that interesting. James Ward-Prowse left on a free. He literally, there was nothing we could say to get him to stay, and then flipping Coventry signed him and he's worth 20 million. So that's a little bit disappointing, that one. Other than that though, no one of any real interest went out on a free, but I cleared out everyone in the reserves. There were so many expensive players in the reserves, as you can see here, or just on the fringes of the squad that we got rid of. So a lot of these guys you probably never even saw. Dylan DeWitt was quite a good youngster. Ben Woodburn, I'm sure you guys know him from real life. He's valued at 6 mil, not really that good for us. Dayot Upamecano, a player that isn't really going to get into our side. He's a bit of a ball-playing centre-back, not really that bothered. This guy I didn't even know we had until I sold him. Like, to get 10.5 mil for him I thought was great. This guy, another 10 mil for a right winger. Sam Lewis was a young striker, young midfielder, sorry. He has been valued very highly now, apparently. He was only valued at 3 million when I sold him. So I don't know what's happened to get him so highly rated at West Ham. There are some players we sold undervalued, but a lot of them were just sat in the reserves and were of no interest to me. Hakim Ziyech was one late on. I wasn't really originally planning on selling, but I originally had an offer put in for him as a part exchange, and he didn't agree the personal terms with the club it was for. So what I did was then sell him individually for the same price, offer that money to the player. You'll see who this is shortly. Ismail Chawi, a right winger, potential to be really good, but for me it just didn't fit our system. I'm not going to be playing wingers this season. You'll see why. Mattis de Ligt, this guy I feel like is so overrated on this game. His actual defensive stats are abysmal. 11 heading, 14 marking and 13 tackling. I'm never going to use him and I got 18 million for him. Gonzalo Morton, a left winger, we got 23.5 mil. I don't need left wingers. Bastoni, this guy is like the most overrated defender ever once again. As you can see here, some of his stats, I'm not sure if we're actually low enough down for you to be able to see all of them. If I'd go like this, you might be able to see him a little bit better. But his tackling's 14. Marking 15, heading 14. He's more suited to a left back, doesn't really suit what we were looking for, and to get 23.5 million, insane. Tobias Svensson, very, very good player, but we got 27 million for him. He's a left winger, doesn't really bother me. And Will Hughes, you'll see why I let him go in the end, because we bought in about 97 million wingers. Now, central midfielders, sorry. And we got 27 million for him, and he's now only valued at 20. We got a lot of money for a lot of players. Like I said, 220 million. Just look from here up, basically everyone's 10 mil to 30 mil. Absolutely crazy money, but we definitely spent some money. So I'm going to go from lowest to highest for these guys and just kind of show you what we did. Okay, I don't really understand this one, but it popped up we could buy him for 120k. I don't know if we had like some sort of clause on him or something, but I mean, he just had good potential and he's now valued at 1.6 mil, so I feel like that was a good piece of business. This one was on deadline day. This guy was transfer listed for some reason. 525k. I thought, why not? An interesting centre back, still relatively young. We'll just loan him out, and at that price, I mean, even if we sold him instantly, we'd turn a profit. Okay, now we're getting into real money. This guy was transfer listed for 15 million quid. Absolutely unreal. I bought him and he's instantly valued at 28.5 mil. His defending stats are absolutely out of this world already. He's still only 21, loads of potential to grow. We managed to pick him up on deadline day. Ridiculously happy with this one. I think he's the sort of defender we want. Now, you are going to see, I bought a lot of defenders. Now, I bought this one earlier on in the window, and had I known I was going to buy Rodolfo, I probably wouldn't have bought him. He's 30 years old. We did spend 17.5 million on him, and we're paying him 100k a week. He's kind of going to be like the fourth choice, pretty much. Useful for the Europa League. Just good to have loads of, like, good players around, basically. His mentals are amazing. He'll do a job for us for 1 or 2 seasons as like a third, fourth choice, just in case there's injuries. He'll do a job. Now, Carlos Alenya has returned. This was the one that was the deal that involved Hakim Ziyech going out. Now, Hakim Ziyech was 30. His stats are almost identical to Carlos Alenya, and he was transfer listed. Only had to pay 18.5 million. Bear in mind, I sold him for 47.5 mil a couple years ago. Think how good he was for us, even in like Champions League. He has an 8.22 average rating in the Russian Cup. He had 7. He was amazing for us. In all seriousness, he was unbelievable. And for 18.5 mil, I thought that was just insane. He's already valued at 27.5. His flipping central midfield stats were just incredible, and he's going to be amazing to have in a European squad. Now we're starting to get into players that I spent a little bit too much money on. Now obviously that one there was one that was a bit of a cheaper one. A lot of people were calling for us to bring some of the highlights of CSKA Moscow with us, and well, I did, again. So you've just seen Carlos Alenya. I bought Rapellini. Now, he's better than Klein, but he's also like 10 years younger, so he's still got room to grow. His crossing was good. He did a good job for us. I mean, it did cost us 25 million, but he's already started off really well. 7.56 in the league. Really, just good player. Right backs are hard to come by, and a 22-year-old one with good crossing, good physicals. It's fine by me to spend 25 million on him. To be fair, CSKA Moscow had just turned a ridiculous profit on him, but he's doing the job in the Premier League. What more can you ask for? Okay, now it gets silly. It really does get. So I spent an insane amount of money on some of these players. Now this one, I believe I enormously overspent on Alessio Romagnoli, and I kind of don't want to show you this. Yeah, we spent 70 million on him. It was 30 million up front and 40 million over a few years. I mean, he's good. I don't know what I was thinking. If I could do the window over again, I wouldn't have bought him. But he is going to be our starting centre-back, and having a good centre-back will be nice. His defensive stats are unreal. His mentals are perfect. He's going to be amazing for us, and he will win us the Champions League. Now we have another returning face, and he's flipping good, isn't he? I spent 70 million on him again as well. We did 40 million up front and 30 over 4 years on this one. I mean, we spent 54 million for him in the Russian league. He's worth 70 million. His first 5 Premier League games, he's got player of the match twice, scored 5 goals in 5 games, and he's on a 7.72. If that's not an amazing thing to ask from your attacking midfielder, I don't know what is. He's just so good. I think he's actually broken in the game. He's unbelievable, and if you think anything else, then I don't want to be your friend, because this guy, he's just amazing, and I really like him. He's the last one we bought from CSKA Moscow, though. Alright, now, I don't know how to explain this one either. We bought Dele Alli. Now, my scouts were telling me he's one of the best in the game. He's valued at 82 million. He's valued at like one of the highest players in the game. He's an amazing central midfielder, and I want to win the Champions League in 2 years. So, just spent 120 million on him. So, we're going to go look at our transfers real quick. I think what needs to be said here is that we've bought like 5 world-class players and also some young talent, and we've shifted out basically a load of deadwood. Now, I know I've massively overspent on some of these, but I wanted to get world-class players, and we've also got some absolute bargains in Carlos Alenya. He's worth like 10 million more already. Rodolfo, he's worth double. We have got some absolute bargains in some of these players, and in reality, look at this money. None of these players would have featured for us this season, whereas we've got some absolute incredible talent. So I think we haven't messed. I mean, we're actually still. I think we're still within budget. Like we finished up with money left over. I didn't overspend, and like we got some unbelievable players. So we actually haven't overspent. We still have a bit of transfer budget and a bit of wage budget left. We're still in the flipping green for our overall balance. Yeah, we're in a bit of a loss, and we do have some money coming out over the year, but we've bought some of the best players in the game, so I think it's worth it. So these are our games so far this season. We started off, remember we didn't have Eggestein for the first 3 games because he got sent off at the end of the season. I'm sure you guys remember that, but against Watford we won 2-0. Against Leicester there was 5 goals scored. It was absolutely ridiculous. There was some absolute worldies scored in this game. I am going to quickly show you them because it is entirely worth it. They just kept scoring as well. Every time we scored they'd get a goal back. This one was a little bit annoying to find the bottom corner. Ketab scored this one, and we actually went 2-1 down in the game, but Ketab who's one of our young players, who I will show you guys in a minute, scored this right in the top bins. I thought that was quality. And then I think we also scored a nice one here, Afonso Salsa, with a nice little finish. It'd probably take a little while to get to it, but he comes forward now. He loses the ball out. It takes a little while. We eventually win the ball back. Dumbia plays it to Dele Alli, who goes to go forward. We play it all the way back to the centre-back. It seems to take a while, but then we play a couple little passes now. We come forward, Rapellini. The ball goes to the edge of the box to Salsa, and he just pings it in like that. Absolute sick goal. And then I think we score a really nice one here as well. Rapellini messes up his throw. Indeed, he has it. It's cut out by Emre Can. It goes to Ketab, and then it ends up falling to Ambrosini, Lacazette, and that was just sick into the top bins. And then, of course, we finish it off in like the 91st minute here with one more just to put it in. Ambrosini beats his man and scores that. Like, we scored a ton of worldies in that game. We also beat Arsenal, which is pretty big. Any win against Arsenal is always good. We had a goal from Afonso Salsa as well. The man just scores goals all the time. I remember that from CSKA, and he's bringing it still over here. Really short highlight. Ketab has the ball, plays it to Henderson. It goes out left to Alberto, and then just a lovely, lovely finish from Salsa. A couple nice goals here as well, but we're not going to go through them all. We did somehow lose to Bournemouth. I'm going to quickly show you this one. Gareth Bale, we were going to buy him on a free, and I didn't, and he goes to Bournemouth, and he scores this really quite nice goal, actually. I remember him scoring one very similar against Arsenal. We were coming, what I thought was going to be on an attack. They cut the ball out. I tackle it to Gareth Bale, and he just shoots from there, and it goes in. So, absolutely ridiculous, but that is enough of all of that. The Premier League, there's a lot to show you guys. The Premier League, we're just a point off Man United. They've scored like all of the goals already. They're 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 5-0. Winning the league's going to be tricky, I'm not going to lie. They've got a team and a half. Our Europa League draw is Braga, Toulouse and Krasnodar. I think we can do that just fine. And our squad is pretty ridiculous. We had some players return that were out on loan. Per Hertel is our left back. He's got really good potential. Where is he? Where's our striker? Ketab. I mean, this guy had 5-star potential like 2 weeks ago, and I'm not sure where it's all gone. But he's a good... Where's his potential gone? He's a good, young, promising player. And then we got Rangelov, who I chose to keep Ketab instead of Rangelov because he had good potential, but now that's all apparently gone in the bin. But we've still got some good players out on loan. We've got a really exciting team, and this is our starting 11. Now, of course, we need to make some quick changes here because there are some unavailable players. Dele Alli is unavailable for a little while too. We don't need this many centre-backs on the bench, so we'll adjust that. But this is going to be our starting 11 going into this game. I'm actually going to start Alexandre Lacazette because he's a bit of a poacher. Hopefully score some goals for us now. So, our starting 11 is Little Ed, obviously Chila Pucamente, Jonathan Chila. He is in goal. Nathaniel Klein at right back because, where is he? Rapellini is injured. He's only out for a couple of weeks, so it's not too bad. Romagnoli and Queiroz as our two centre-backs. Alberto Moreno at left back. He did want to leave, actually, and I nearly replaced him, but I didn't in the end. I nearly bought Kieran Tierney. Seydou Doumbia is our defensive midfielder. Jordan Henderson is box-to-box with Carlos Alenia playing as an advanced playmaker support. Afonso Salsa is the advanced playmaker attack. And then Eggman and Laka are our two strikers. Very, very nice. We've got options on the bench. Ambrosini comes on and always does work. He's a really exciting player. So, I think we should be just fine in this game. If we don't win by 2 or more goals, I'll be upset, if I'm completely honest with you. Toulouse come into it apparently winning 4 of their last 5 in the league. They're playing... This formation is played against us literally every game. It's getting kind of boring now. Well, that's good. That team talk's gone well. That's why you don't get your assistant to do it. I've been trying out a different view. I've been trying out this TV view, but I know for YouTube the best view is the 2D Classic, so we will be doing that. Right, Romagnoli on the ball now as centre-back. He has got very good passing of the ball. A few of our centre-backs are very comfortable on the ball, actually. Carlos Alenia has it now. He plays it over to Eggestein, who scores whenever he wants. And Lacazette nearly scores, but Svila, there's, I need to call him the centre-back. Their goalkeeper cuts it out right there, stops the move. At the last point of call, really, just on the line. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Alenia plays it to Eggestein. Lacazette is in 1-0. Lovely, lovely stuff. Lacazette does score. It's hard to kind of replace him, really, because he is still quick. He is still very, very clinical, and he does score a lot of goals. As a poacher up top with Eggestein, he is very good, and I've been rotating him in Ketab, but I may just stick Lacazette in for most of the games this season, and then for the Champions League next year, we buy a proper poacher, because Lacazette might be a little bit too old. I think that'll be the only thing we'll have to buy next season, will be a poacher, because other than that, like, our team's pretty incredible. Our midfield is out of this world. Maybe a fullback, probably a left back. If we buy anything, it would be to try and sign, like, a world-class left back. when obviously we'll be in Champions League, so it'll be a little bit easier to buy left backs instead of having to settle with Alberto Moreno. It would be nice to get, I don't know, maybe like an Alaba. I don't know how good Alaba will be in 2020, 2024. I nearly said 2014 then, which literally makes no sense. Dumbia's got himself sent off though, like an absolute mug. 20 minutes into the game against Toulouse. This happened with a red card last season when we really didn't need a flipping red card to happen. Why do our players just make it awkward for ourselves? We're not on get stuck in or anything like that, but, you know, they're just annoying. They're going to score from this corner here as well. This is basically the Chelsea game all over again. I would like it if we could score a second now. This would put me at ease. Eggestein's coming forward. He beats number 14. He goes for goal, and I think it hits the crossbar and goes over. But down to 10 men. It's going to make it tricky. Hopefully we can score from this corner. It goes all the way over. I'm not sure if this is a highlight. I think it's going to end any second now. Alenya back to Klein. Eggestein. Surely there's not a counter-attack. Please just end now. Yeah, there you go. It ends just as a thought. I've moved the team to counter now as well. That the game wanted us to go on to contain, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just sit on the counter because at the end of the day, a win is a win when it comes to this. It's not like it's the group stages. So as long, not sorry, of course it is the group stages. I meant to say it's not like it's the knockout stages. So if we win 1-0 or 5-0. I'm not that bothered after being down to 10 men. It's just crucial that we get the 3 points because I want to top this group. I don't want to mess around. And at home to Toulouse, I don't want to lose. And of course we get a flipping. They get an equaliser. Alexis Chartier. That's annoying. Why did Dumbia have to get himself sent off now, man? I don't know. I think he'll just miss one game, and I'm sure Emre Can can come in and do a job. But that's just annoying. Why do players get sent off in games that actually matter to me? I don't get it, but they're probably going to go on and win this game now, which would sum us up really. Eggestein plays it to Lacazette. If we could get a winner here, I'd be buzzing. Lacazette, what a run that was! That deserved a goal. That was so good. That absolutely deserved a goal. I'm going to get the team to play more narrow because all of their attacks are coming through the middle, and I just want as many players to be blocking it out. Really, I'm not that bothered if they go for crosses. This guy has been massively isolated, so if we just sit more narrow, hopefully everyone just kind of sits on him. And I tell you what, I am actually going to make a change in a second. We're going to take off Afonso Salsa when it lets me, and we're going to bring on Emre Can to sit in behind those two now. I know it's... do I want to take off Salsa or Alenya? I'm going to take off Salsa. He's been the boss lately, but let's give Emre Can a chance to kind of sit in the middle, hopefully isolate their striker Chartier a little bit more. They're playing a one-striker formation. He's not really touched it. They have started playing a lot more expansive football, though, since we've gone down to 10 men. They were set up in a 4-1-4-1 before, but they are actually going for it. It'd be nice if we can try and hit them on the counter. They've got Alan St. Maximin on the right-hand side. They play it to Chartier here, who I said had been so isolated. I don't believe it. It's just our luck, isn't it? 2-1 down to Toulouse. Can't really be bothered with it. It's so annoying. I know we're going to go on and top the group, but that's just such an annoying way to start it. A deflected own goal off Romagnoli. Absolute banterous. We go more narrow as well, and of course they get a flipping goal from a cross after going down the middle half the game. But we're going to score here, I'm confident. No, we're not. We might actually concede again on the counter. I'm going to play a lot of the games still off stream, so not off stream, off recording. Obviously you saw we played the first 5 games of the league off. Eggestein, you can't be finishing that. I feel like with this season our focus is just getting through it as quick as possible. Nathaniel Klein on 8.3, by the way. That wouldn't have happened if Rapellini was playing. But yeah, our focus is to get through this season relatively quickly. It's a bit of a shame you've missed like 3 of our starters in this game. But I'll be smashing through the league, trying to get as many games done. You will see some like big matches. If we have like a back-to-back of a Europa League and say like Man United or something, that would be ideal, and we can feature both of those. Is there going to be a chance right at the end here? I don't think there is. I think we're going to start off by losing our first Europa League game, which is very, very annoying, but that is the way it goes, I'm afraid. There is some other news that will be coming to you guys in the next episode as well. You may have already spotted it in this one, but we will play back-to-back, probably Braga and Chelsea, and then we'll do Tottenham, no, Man City and Braga. So we'll play, you'll see 2 Braga games, you'll see Braga and Chelsea, and then Braga and City, and hopefully we can fly through this season nice and quickly, and hopefully have a nice successful season and get ourselves into the Champions League. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode, don't forget of course to smash that like button, subscribe if it is your first time watching. Have a fantastic day guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.